Hello, rock stars. This is Benoit with my examples of a lesson schedule slash HyperDoc. Um, so what it is it's a good starting point for all students as they work through the lesson either in class or outside of class. It has links to everything they'll need, the book, the slides, videos. It has a schedule both across days for what we'll be doing, and then like for every day, what are the 2 or 3 or 4 mini lessons that we're going to be going into. It's got a note on any independent work expectations outside of class, and when assignments are due, and hopefully it's color coded to help them focus on what we're doing that day. What it's not is there's this hyper guided note stuff that's out there, which are awesome. But in a lot of places like Cult of Pedagogy and Teachers for Teachers or whatever, they call those HyperDocs. And it's like, the word HyperDoc has existed for a long time before that. And I don't think you should grab the name which applies to a whole broad category and apply it to just one subsection. So I'm going to be a curmudgeon and keep using the bigger definition of HyperDoc. It's just a document that has a lot of links and stuff to it. And so this is my lesson schedule slash HyperDoc. Why? I got tired of students trying to find stuff in Google Classroom and just having this Google stream that, you would scroll down 4 or 5 pages and then it would have to load and you have to scroll down 4 or 5 more pages. And it was a pain in the butt for everything. And then some students really, really want or need that focus of what are we doing today? Where are we going with it? When is it due? What do I need? Where's the book? Right. So just having that place where they can get all of that information organized really helps them. For me, spending the time getting it set up saves me time in having to answer questions later. Right. I teach them how to use the schedule HyperDoc, and now at this point most of them are awesome at getting the stuff they need. And it also helps students develop good habits for starting class and starting work. Do you know where everything is? What are you working on? Do you have it ready before you jump in? So I mentioned Google Classroom. For my Google Classroom, it's really simplified now. Let me switch to it for this class. This is my Google Classroom for period 1. Here's my stream. It has 2 things. It's got my Zoom link and it's got my general resources with some other stuff like how to book a office hour with me, how to join Remind, my information on grades, class norms, right? That's it. There's nothing else on my stream. And on the classwork, it's really simple. I'm going to switch back to the slide for this one. For the classwork, it's really simple. They now know to go look for this material post on the activity. And as I'm starting off in the do now, I will say, go open up the schedule HyperDoc for activity 114, activity 113. And in the classwork tab, I'm not posting very much during the week. It usually ends up being about 2 or 3 things per week, which is the HyperDoc and then the assignment and maybe a survey. So last week I had 4. This week so far I have 2. I'll probably add in 1 more, so get up to 3. So it even keeps the classwork page pretty small and focused. And this material information where my schedule slash HyperDoc goes, this shows up as gray for the students. So it's really easy for them to focus on, what's the first schedule HyperDoc on my list? That's the one I usually need to go open. Okay. So actual example of the HyperDoc. Here's my kind of annotated version. This is this week's HyperDoc. So at the top is kind of key information and links, right? The general link to the book, the general link to where we're doing our code. How can they book a one-on-one with me? This month, NASA and SHIP are doing this Destination Space broadcast every lunch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I have a link to the slides for that just to, help remind them they can go check out this cool thing. Right, so that's kind of the top of the page. And then underneath, I have a column for every day we're going to be working on this lesson, right? So for this lesson, it's activity 114 and 115. And what are we going to be doing, right? So I've covered up Friday with my callouts, but there's a section for the agenda, right? And it's got links to the, that specific activity in the book and my slide deck that I'm going to be going through. And then I break it down into, here's the 2 or 3 mini lessons we're doing today. Okay, I've got a section on videos, and then after the class is done, like we just finished day number 3, as soon as the Zoom video is there, I download it and I get into YouTube and I post the link here, right? So that's the full class video for today, but I also have links to the mini lessons, right? So the class video I post after class, and I have Zoom record it to the cloud, and I've told Zoom to record the shared screen from the gallery and stuff separate, so the students don't have to worry about their video showing up in what I'm posting to YouTube, right? So that's a neat little trick you can do in Zoom, have it record to the cloud and then tell it to record stuff separately. And you can post just the video of what your screen is sharing and the audio that goes with that. And then my mini lessons, I do those videos before class. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. I'll save that. So the agenda, videos for in case they miss class or they want to refer back to it. There's both mini lesson videos and there's a full class videos. I think the mini lesson videos are a little easier because these tend to be like 10 or 15 minute chunks. And that helps the student just kind of do one thing at a time. And then there's independent work. What do they need to do outside of class to finish up for that day? When are things due? Okay. So, right, does it work? I'm really down to pretty much 0 questions for where do I find this? Which thing are we on? When are we going to do, right? All of those questions now, it's in the schedule HyperDoc. Go take a look at it. And the videos, right? I'm not a YouTube star or anything like that, but for all of, for the average for a class or a mini lesson video is between like 1 and 3, and that's not the average. The range is 0 to 3. The average is probably slightly above 1 for any of them. As we get into harder code towards the end, I think I have some videos for rock, paper, scissors that have something like 10 or 15 views, and the simpler stuff has a lot less, but students are finding the information they need to go finish up the code, go finish up their assignments. So last plug on, I really like doing the mini lesson videos before, or at least the first time I teach the lesson, because it helps me tighten up the material. And I realized, these 3 mini lessons that I'm trying to do today, those videos add up to over 50 minutes of time. How am I going to actually do that in a 60-minute class? That's pushing it. I need to pare it down or spread it out over multiple days. And then once I have that mini lesson video done, if I'm not changing the lesson, I can reuse it next term, right? If I'm not ELA or math, or I can reuse it next year if I'm ELA or math. So doing that mini lesson video does help you, and it's something you can use going forward, and just pull it from playlist to playlist. You can actually just go back and look. And so now when I'm making my HyperDocs, I just go open up the HyperDoc from the fall, and I'm copying stuff over and just massaging the dates that were in the class, and sometimes spreading stuff out a little more, tightening stuff up a little bit more. Anyway, hope that helped you. This is what's working for me. A lot of my students are using it religiously and finding it helpful, so I thought I would show you what I do. Bye.